India has one of the lowest labour force participation rates for women. The country has made some progress to reach 87 out of 144 countries for gender equality overall, according to the World Economic Forum's Global Gender Gap Report, but India stands 136th for labour force participation by women. For many women who want to work, there are multiple barriers: education levels, skill or technical education, not to mention societal or familial pressure. In Murtal, Haryana, at the Central Institute of Plastics, Engineering and Technology, a special training course has been set up under the DISA project, geared towards employment in plastics engineering.
UNDP has been working in India since 1951 and helping the government and working on different aspects of human development, coming from democratic governance to livelihood and entrepreneurship to environmental issue, and always with the idea that the government is actually our first counterpart, and the idea is to align with government priority. UNDP has launched a new initiative two years ago, which is called Disha. It's a project which is funded by IKEA Foundation and with the objective to improve the life of 1 million women and girls in the country by providing them opportunity either to be placed in a job or to start their own business. So it's relying with the idea of skilling and making sure that we can skill people so they can either find a job or start their own small company. We started the project by doing some kind of a study to understand a little more exactly what were the needs and aspirations of the target audience that we have, so the woman and girl we wanted to reach out. We actually found out that for most of them, the critical obstacle that they're facing is actually the lack of information. They don't have any clue about what are the opportunities for them, either in terms of job or entrepreneurship. They rely only on information coming from the family or the relatives, and generally they are kind of limited in their scope into traditional way for women, which will be mostly stitching, food processing. They don't understand that they can actually do much more than that. They can become an engineer, they can work in a factory, but they don't have that kind of information. We work in different industries. We are kind of industry agnostic. So we work in the steel sector, for example, but we will work as well in the hospitality sector with a brand like the Taj. We work in the retail sector with IKEA directly, as IKEA is setting up their own business here, the retail business. We work a lot in entrepreneurship as well, because we do believe that employment is not always the solution. And especially when you deal with girls coming from rural villages, some of them don't want to migrate, and actually can understand that. If it's for them to migrate from their village where there is a support system with the community, the parents, the whole environment, and then they have to migrate to the big city where actually they're going to get a job for 7,000 to 8,000 rupee, which corresponds mostly to €100 a month, and they have to find an accommodation, transportation are not safe, they are cut off from the family and the whole support system, sometimes they don't even speak the language or eat the same food. It can be very disruptive. At the end of the day, for them to start a small business within the community itself and perhaps get a little more money, but still having that support system around them and the conducive environment might be much more empowering. For us, what's very important, it's actually to make sure that people come back at the center of the skilling ecosystem. The skilling ecosystem in India over the last few years has been driven by targets, and very high targets, millions and hundreds of millions of people to be trained over the next few years. And sometimes we have a bit forgotten about the people themselves. So meaning to say that we deliver much more in terms of output, the number of people trained, and not so much in terms of outcome, meaning to say that how it's going to change the life of the people we work for. And what we believe as part of this project, Disha, is that we need to put back the center, and especially the girls, at the center of the ecosystem.
Girls from the ages of 13 to 30 receive specific career counseling and other skills at this office in East Delhi as part of the Seva Bharat and Disha project initiative. They say they've reached 10,000 girls in the past year. One of the major hurdles remains lack of information about opportunities. And while sewing classes are helpful for women who have little formal education, we learn, they also need more options. and professional skill development to be able to adapt to a workplace.